welcome back. We're heading into turn 2. A couple of quick corrections already. 6 minus 1 is 5, not 6. So my ammo should be here. And I forgot to put a Z here on the tunnel track. Let's grab one. There we go. Alright, let's get cracking. Oh, and incidentally, I think I said this barricade gives us 2 plus 1 defense. It's not, it's just 2. Okay, so once the barricade is gone, then you're left with the inherent 1 that comes with the named location. Well, let's draw our next event card. A supply room discovered. Excellent. At the end of this phase, we're going to get some more supplies. Okie doke. There's a goodies marker in the Mall district. Goodies are good. Goodies are good. We got nothing in the 4R phase. Nothing in the infection. Eat 1 die. We got no one in the hospital. And now we got 2 tracks moving. We have the highway track and the forest track. This one moves up, and our forest track moves up, taking us to our actions phase. So we've got 2 actions for this event. 2. I think the first thing we're going to do is, well, I was going to use Wilson to do some foraging, but with those goodies here, I think I'm just going to move him back. So before I do, let's have Pickles, the dog, and take on these Zeds over here in the mountain track. Let's turn over my player action. Now Wilson says shortcuts. A player unit in the same space as Wilson may take a shortcut as part of its own move action. And that means moving from the same numbered space on an adjacent track for 1 movement point. Okay, so Pickles has got a movement of 6. So we're going to take a shortcut from space number 3 for 1 movement point over here. That's 1. And then 2, 3, 4 in here with the Zeds. Now he can coexist here because Pickles has this ability that says when Pickles enters a space with a Zeds or Raiders unit, or vice versa, he rolls a 6-sided die on a 2 to 6. We can coexist in that space. Let's roll. Come on in. I want anything other than a 1. A 6, fine. Good. And what Pickles is doing is he has this noisy bark. So when the Zeds try to leave, and we roll a die on a 4, 5, or 6. We stop the Zeds moving forward on the mountain track, so that's a good start over there, I think. Then we're going to use our emergency broadcast to move those civilians again. Let's get them moving. I want to get them up to Lucky Strike Mine, I think. It's not wonderful, but let's get the doc in the lab for 1 action, and then Wilson's going to head back here. In fact, no, let's keep Wilson here. Let's move the doc over here, and we'll scavenge with Wilson instead. And I think we should have foraged before. Pickles moved. So let's do that. The reason why is because Wilson has a scavenger ability, so when he forages he rolls 2 dice, but with a lucky charm rolls an extra die when stacked with another player, including combat and saving rolls. Okay, so we're going to roll 3 dice for the forage. I know I've kind of gone backwards a bit, but I'm cutting myself some slack. We are doing the director's cut here, Okay, 6, 4 and 2. Right, that's good, because that means, because we're at the farm, we're foraging with a 6, we choose which die we want out of those 3. And if we had got a double, then we could have got double supplies, but we didn't. And then we get 2 supplies. 1, 2, we're up to 10, and now Pickles moves across into here. Alright? Yep, makes sense. And finally, we get our 4 supplies for the dog Siva. Lovely. So we get rid of that. 4 supplies takes us to 14. Now we're pretty loaded up. I'm feeling happy. Ready to go for the next card. Let's see what it is. Heroic civilians arrive. Now things are going to start to get a little interesting. Right, we still don't have any refugees, we don't have to worry about outbreaks, and we don't have any people in hospital beds, so that die roll does nothing. Now then, we have the tunnel track, the highway track, and the mountain track all triggering. Yeah, and this is where this tunnel track, maybe we should have moved these guys up to defend the Chromotechnics lab. We have a named location hit by a Zed unit. Now we have to grab a Chaos token. If we ever run out of these, then we lose the game. The labs are now Zeds controlled. They get a Chaos marker. Now it is possible to restore order there if we can get one of our player units here, include civilians. Pickles can't though. Pickles can't restore order. So when we can remove the chaos marker. But so we're okay for now. We're okay. It's not a priority. Right now, the highway track. Now our Zeds are attacking the village of Ingberg. All right, these civilians lose their defiant marker. They can now move. If these Zeds stay here, then these villagers become refugees and will start running back towards town centre. Let's resolve this first. The player strength is 2, Zeds 7. So what we do is work out how many times more the Zed strength is than the players, or vice versa. In this case, the Zed strength is at least not 2 times but 3 times stronger. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6, but not 4 times. 3 times stronger than the players. Now we can see which column we're working on in the hand-to-hand combat. Zeds times 3, so we're working in the far left. That's bad for us. But there is a shift. The village of Ingberg has a right shift. It has some defensive properties. So this means we shift 1 to the right to Zeds times 2. Now we've got to roll our dice. So it's 2 dice we're rolling. It's a 7. Not good. We were hoping for something high, because this gives us 2 values. The value 0, 3 is what we read across from the 7. If we'd have got a 12, then we'd have got a 2, 1. And 2 would be the number of hits on the Zeds and 1 on the humans. As it is, we've got 7, so it's 0, 3. Let's take our 3 hits, and we'll talk you through each one of these one at a time. The first hit goes on the civilian unit. See, to the right of the 2 here, it's got a heart shape. The second hit is going to cause the unit to flip, okay, this flip icon. So the second hit flips it, and the third hit is fine, it sustains it. The fourth hit will be the X, and that will defeat the unit. Our civilians are still standing. Now we look to see which field was highlighted. It was the 3, the right hand side, that was highlighted. Here the 2, the right hand side, and then these 2, the left hand side. The right hand side, remember, is the human. So the human, the highlighted side, must retreat. So our civilians retreat. Having engaged in hand-to-hand, our infection level goes up to 1, and now the villagers they can't defend. Instead, they're going to flip and turn into fleeing refugees, and they're going to flee back to space number 4 on the highway track. We want to do something about saving them. We don't want these Zeds to go in and hurt those fleeing refugees. Okay, I think that's that one done. Now it's the mountain track. We can use Pickle's effect, his noisy bark. So let's roll a die. We're looking for a 4, 5 or a 6. Whew, we got the 4. This Zeds unit doesn't move. And now it's our actions. But it says at the beginning of the actions phase, place a new random heroic civilians unit in town centre. Who are we going to get? There's 7 to choose from. Let's roll a 1d7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 5. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get Bob Bauer's crew. These guys are pretty cool. They can build barricades with supply. They can turn supply into ammo using their explosive devices. And we can repair the bridge. Okay, that's the Farmingdale suspension bridge. So, explosive devices token. Here's the suspension bridge. And we get a heroic civilian unit in town centre. That's pretty cool. I like that. Actions now, and we do have 2. So, first action, I'm going to move the securities up to the security guards up to Dr. Matus's office. They have a special ability that allows them to move through catacombs normally without rolling. Otherwise, you'd have to roll a d6 to move from this location. And but you see that these red diamond units are exempt. On a 4 or 5, you stay there. On a 6, you're lost. Effectively, that means you could either disappear from the game or pop up somewhere else in this tunnel complex. And with that second action, I'm going to move Doc Seaver over to the lab. I'm going to do it. He's got to move 3, 1, 2. That'll do. Next, I'm going to have a look at my heroic civilians. So, emergency broadcast first off, and we can either give this to a regular civilian or refugee unit. Now, I've got a choice here. I could. Oh, I forgot to place a chaos marker in Ingberg. I could either action the fleeing refugees. They've got a movement of 1. They're under player control now. The villagers weren't, you see. They're defiant. They couldn't move. I could move them back behind this barricade and use my player action to move these civilians. But I'm hoping that the next event card will allow the refugees to flee. Let's use my action on these. Get them behind that barricade. So they've got a movement of 2, 1, 2. Now for my final action, my player action, I'm going to move Bob Bauer's crew. We've got a move of 3. And we're going to move 1, 2. Yeah, we're going to move this way. Shall we? 1, 2, we'll go down to here. Let's move down here. 1, 2, 3. And I think we've set ourselves up. I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but certainly we can get some research going, get some barricades built here. Hopefully these refugees will flee back behind this barricade. We can try and get these civilians back to the hospital. There's quite a lot to do. Join me next time and we'll see how we get on in Dawn of the Zeds 3rd edition.